Welcome back then to Kelly TV. It is another InVision special, and today we have a man that joins us. He's been at the club since year dot. Most of his, in fact, all of his adult career, bar one club, has been at Kilmarnock. He's made 250 appearances for the club. Please welcome to Kelly TV, Rory McKenzie. Rory, good afternoon. How are you, mate? You all right?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you? How have you been adjusting to life in lockdown?
It's been. I'm lucky in the sense I stay out in a farm, so we've had a bit of freedom. We've been able to go out and do our own thing. So in that sense, we've been quite lucky, and I've had plenty of stuff to do. So I've been kept well busy.
What's the kind of mood around the camp now that kind of everyone is back at training? I'm assuming everyone's probably delighted to be back at training, albeit a little bit different.
Yeah, I know. I think everyone's looking forward. It's been, we'd have never thought that Friday before we played St Mirren that we wouldn't see each other again for nearly 4 months. And even though we're back, we're still in groups of three, groups of six, three groups of six. So it's although you're getting back, it's still quite strange, but it's just good to be in amongst a few of the boys again.
What was it like then, that first day back? Kind of, again, it's probably different. You're all having to jump in the car, stay in the car park, get tested before you can actually interact with everyone. So how was it? How was it to see everyone on day one?
No, it was funny. It was very well run. You weren't really sure what to expect. You'd heard a few things from the club. But you were there seeing Yeti again. I don't think he's left the place since the last day we were there. So it was nice to see the familiar faces, and it was good to get back into things.
We'll talk a little bit later on more about the training and things like that, but and how the setup is and how completely it has changed. But I think we want to touch on now the fact that you've just signed a new contract at the club as well. So you're extending your stay at a club really where you spent a loan spell at Brecon your entire career.
Yeah, no, it was especially right now. It was good to get things sorted. Not just in football, in all walks of life. Just now, people are losing jobs, and to have another 2 years it gives you peace of mind. It gives you another few years to enjoy your football, and it was a big thing for me is being able to stay at home. There's not many players that can go as long as I have been able to stay at home and have your family and friends about you, and have everything you love outside of football right at your doorstep. So for me, that's massive as well.
Does the new contract extension then give you a little bit more time to try and force your way into the Trinidad and Tobago team?
I'm not sure. That it's actually been going on quite a while. That at first it was a wee bit of we'll test it and see what comes of it, and nothing really came of it. I spoke to the manager, Dennis Lawrence, at the time, and then it wasn't until at some point, was it this? I can't even remember the year. I think it was the start of this year. Mm-hmm. The last manager got the sack, and the new manager came in. He got in contact with me, and things actually progressed quite quickly. So I was named in one of the squad just before. I think it was a game against Canada. Mm-hmm. All of my paperwork hadn't gone through, but I was named in the squad, so I was hoping that was going to go ahead. And then obviously everything that happened. So hopefully, once we're back and get things sorted.
When you look at the kind of backstory behind how all of that started, not a lot of people will probably know that Chris Boyd had something to do with this, and Marvin Andrews as well. Tell us more about that, Marvin Andrews.
I think we were sat in. It was pre-season La Manga a few years ago. Boyd, we were just sitting in between sessions, and Boyd just said, "Have you ever? What's happening with the Trinidad thing?" I said, "Oh, no, nothing really. I've had a bit of emails back and forth, but nothing concrete." He goes, I'll wait there. I'll give Big Marv a call. So he called Marvin Andrews, and that really got the ball moving.
So it must be quite a kind of a surreal thing. Obviously, you've grown up in Scotland, but I'm thinking it's your granddad. He was born out there in a tour of duty. Was he not?
Yeah. His mum and dad were in the Navy, so he was born out there. They were stationed over there.
Well, fingers crossed you can hopefully break into that team. And of course, you're talking about Canada there, so that would have put you up against Liam Miller, but we all know what he's kind of capable of. But that would have been a really, some experience to get an international cap for Trinidad and Tobago, and fingers crossed you can get one.
No, I know. Thank you. No, it's an experience that, I said I'd really try to make happen. If nothing comes of it, then I've given it a good shot. But we'll see.
You're talking there as well about the fact that you've got like a lot of your family's round about you, and you're kind of one of a bit of footballer that doesn't really or hasn't really moved about. Is that you just haven't wanted to move, or I mean, there will have been offers, no doubt, for you to move about, but is it just you just feel really settled at Command, like you feel really settled in the area, and again, obviously, why you signed an extension to your contract?
Definitely, it's been, Kilmarnock's really all I've ever known, and especially in the last few years, it's gone from obviously always enjoying your football, but the last few years especially, under Steve Clarke more so than the start of last year, football was just I'd never experienced that. We were winning games every single week. It became a bit of, it was like normality getting into every game winning. And I had never experienced anything like that before, so that was a lot of fun. And it's just everything's here. I stay 5 minutes from the ground. It's I stay 5 minutes from the golf course. My family, they're 5 minutes away, and to have all that as well as playing football for a living is pretty good.
I noticed how you named that, like, football ground first, then the golf course, and then the family. I'm assuming you've been back out on the golf course now that we're all allowed to start playing golf again.
Yeah, I know it worked out well because the first few weeks I had the painting, then the gardening, and then just as I was getting a wee bit bored, the golf course open. So lockdown's been pretty kind to me. So I've been able to, we're allowed to play three rounds a week just now. So I've made full use of that.
Oh, absolutely. So you're trying to get the handicap back down again, then, yeah?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
There's maybe a couple other things that people don't really know about you as well. Obviously, you're big on your golf. We know that. I certainly don't want to play around against you because you'll absolutely tear me a new one. But you're doing a law degree at the moment as well. How is that? I'm assuming through lockdown that probably has kind of ground to a halt just now, or are you still doing that through the Open University?
No, that's ground to a halt. It was a wee bit frustrating in a way because I had two exams to do when lockdown kicked in, and they were actually one of them was from home. So I thought that'd be a good time for me to study, and I've got nothing else to do. But they were both. I don't know why one was cancelled. I don't know why the other was cancelled because that was in Glasgow. But it was frustrating because for the first time I'd been able just to fully focus on studying. And then that was cancelled. So it's given me more time to do other things, but it's I can't be too disappointed we're not studying, so it's not the end of the world.
How do you kind of cram it all in? Because obviously you'll have, when training goes back to being normal, that's quite demanding. There's a lot you need to do as a footballer, and obviously you've got the house and stuff, and you want to get a game of golf in. But you're quite a kind of disciplined kind of guy, though. So I'm assuming you'll have like a wee timetable that you need to do this at that time, and that has to be done at that time, and you'll spend X, Y, and Z time studying as well.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, people obviously know this as well. It's football. You could quite easily be back. A lot of boys do a lot of messing about, especially now at the club with the new sports bar and stuff with the pool table. But you can be back home, if you wanted to, for 1:30, 2 o'clock. So during the summer, that's fine. You can go and play golf. You can go and do anything you want to. But during the winter, it's the dark nights. There's not much you can do. So it's great. It passes the time. Once you get into it, it's difficult starting, but once you get into routine of things, it's crazy how you rely on it, because I'll get maybe a week off from studying, and I'll come home from training and think, what is there to do? So it keeps your mind active and keeps your mind away from football at times, which is quite nice as well.
What is there to do? Whatever you do not say that in front of the good lady, mate. She will find you something to do 110%.
That's also the thing, that if I do get in, if it's a short session, I'll get in at 1:30. Natalie, my wife, she won't get until 5:30. So there's a long time not to do anything. And boys, you just find, if I'm not studying, you just end up sitting on the couch watching things where you could be more productive and looking towards your future. So it's definitely an avenue more players need to start thinking about and think about going down anyway.
Is that the plan then for after football, to become a lawyer? And what type of law are you studying?
It's basically you just do a bit of everything. Every year's different modules. So you cram it all into it. It's a 6-year course, and then you go and do your diploma and stuff like that. I've not really looked that far ahead, but right now I'm just going to try and get the degree and see where it takes me. And I've got a few friends that have done law degrees, and they haven't generally gone into law. They can go into other things, and that's such a good degree because it opens up so many gateways. And it doesn't have to be law. It can be somebody that's getting into banking from it. So it really gives you a lot of opportunities to do different things.
Well, I suppose as well, on top of that, you've got the likes of, you could stay in football, I suppose, and maybe look at football law, sports law, that type of thing as well. So there could still, whilst when your playing career comes to an end, which hopefully won't be for a long time yet, then that background might be there, and then there could be a good senior position at another club, maybe not just in Scotland, but somewhere else in the country or across the UK.
Yeah, no, I mean, that would be, in an ideal world, sports law would be it would go hand in hand with the career that I've had so far. And I've been to a few lectures and stuff with sports lawyers, and if that was the case, I'd definitely look into that.
Let's move away from that. Coming up, probably in a couple of years, you'll be due, I think it's 2 years or so, you'll be due a testimonial. Has it crossed your mind yet?
Not really. I was never. Well, it wasn't really something I'd ever thought about. I'm not really into. Not that I'm into that sort of, but just all that bravado about me. And I said, I think again talking about, I said that to Boydie. He says, no, I'm not interested in that. Not for me. That's what he's talking about. Not interested in. And I think for reasons. Money, you're not allowed to talk about things like that. But Boydie basically said, "Well, why are you not interested?" So I don't know whether. I always remember watching I think Phil Jones did an interview, and he said they asked him about a testimony. He said no chance at Man United because it'd only be his mum, his dad, and his dog to turn up, and that's probably the same with me. But
sorry, we might come and watch, mate. You're all right. Josh Woods, our 10-year-old scoreboard operator, says, "Quote: Some of his runs are brilliant, so at least there'll be 4 or 5 of us would come and watch you, mate. So you'd be okay."
There you go, then. There you go. But no, it wasn't something I've ever really thought hard about. But maybe when we get nearer the time, I might start to think about it.
Have you got I'm going to put you right on the spot. Have you got an opponent that you would absolutely love to play against, like team-wise?
Well, I've not thought this hard about it, but no, I don't know. I wouldn't even want to embarrass myself by saying something. No, I don't know. I wouldn't want to embarrass myself.
Probably a wise thing, because that, no doubt, that little chunk of the interview would get cropped out by the boys, and it would get looped around that dressing room for a long time to come yet.
Yeah, that's a good.
You'd probably aim for somebody like Man United or Bayern Munich, and you'd end up playing Stuart Lannick. No offence to Stuart Lannick, by the way, that's just an old club I might not have thought of. But well, you could come and play our amateur team, mate. We'll give you a game, Blinky and Thistle. We'll give you a game for your testimonial. That'll do it.
I'm not going to say no to anyone.
Talking about the football, how are you getting your head around the fact that games are, let's look at it kind of straight down the line, we ain't going to be seeing football fans back in a ground for a very long time, potentially not even this year. So how are the boys going to, how will you cope with that? What are the boys saying about it? And, how quickly do you think you'll get used to having no fans on the ground?
I mean, I think you'll get, like you've seen on the telly just now, I think you'll get to grips with it quite quickly, but there's no doubt it'll be very strange, especially going to away matches and there's no fans there. It'll be, it will just be like we do 11v11s at training. It will feel like a training game, but with 3 points in the line, so it'll be, be a strange. There might be a few more risk taking because you've not got the fans screaming at your back. But no, in a way, I'm quite looking forward to it, just to experience that, see what it's like.
We can ask Aaron McGowan something similar, that if you are, like when you're in the stadium, you've got Rugby Park is rocking, and it can be quite a special place at times. Like maybe if you're just trying to drag yourself through a little bit of a game and you feel maybe you're not having a good game, the fans there can just help you with that 3 or 4 extra %, or even that 1% extra to push on, does that mean you have to dig a little bit deeper if you're going to be playing in these games?
Oh, without doubt, without doubt. When you've got when the fans are on your side and you're doing well, there's nothing better. So not having that is going to be strange. Especially if you are winning games. If you are winning a game with no fans, it'll be strange not having any sort of atmosphere. But again, it goes back to I'm quite looking forward to experiencing that and seeing what it's like.
I suppose it's something that footballers before have never ever really have ever experienced, and it'll be probably a once in a lifetime thing. This happens as well, so it will be quite weird. You look at the Bundesliga, you look at England, they still got stadium announcers, they've still got the music playing before the games. So I suppose small things like that might just help with your psyche getting ready for a game, won't it?
Definitely. I think that's the thing. When it comes down to it, and you're going out there and you're playing, the league started and you're playing for 3 points, it'll soon the whole thing will soon disappear, and it will be about try to do your best and win the game. So I've got no qualms with that. It'll be business as usual once we get started.
I want to talk about Aaron McGowan. Actually, we had him on a week before we're recording this interview, just as he signed, and we described him as a little bit of a wido, but in a good way. Aaron's somebody that you've known for quite a while, and obviously played against for quite a while. So it's probably your chance to actually tell us anything that he said in the interview about himself. Is it true, and what is he like?
So what did he say in the interview?
Basically that he told the manager and James Fowler that he's got something that we're missing at the club. You need a character like me. I've got the swagger, jagger, and all that sort of stuff. Quite cringe, if I'm being honest.
Okay, well, I've not been in this training group, so he was the last week. He was obviously coming in to sign, and our group of 6 was training. I don't know what he's like, but I've played against him for a few years, and I think he'll definitely add. He'll add something that, I actually said to him at the side of the pitch, I said, I'm glad I won't have. You allowed to swear here now?
You say what you want, yeah.
I said, I'm glad I won't have you kicking me every game now for the rest of the season. And he has a bit of a way he says, you got me the move. So that was good of him. But he gives you. It's not nice playing against him because he sticks the boot in. I think having somebody like that in your team is going to be beneficial, especially when you have Sod that wouldn't kick it anywhere.
So was it more a relief then when you saw Kilmarnock have announced Aaron McGowan as their first summer signing? It's like thank God for that type moment, and a bit of he's actually quite a good player, to be honest. Was it a lot more relief?
No, it was definitely a bit of more. He's done really well. I like him a lot as a player from what I've seen. I think he'll do really well for us going forward and defending. And it'll be nice not having. I'm sure somebody will take his place, but somebody bashing through the back of you at every given opportunity.
Well, he calls himself the Rhino, self-proclaimed the Rhino. Even when he signed and he put it on his own Twitter, he had a picture of a rhino. So
must be a Hamilton thing, that the wolf, the rhino. It's not great, is it?
David Attenborough's going to have to start doing our interviews very soon here, isn't he?
It's poor. I don't know what age I think they are.
He'll give you, I suppose, okay, he's on the right-hand side, but he'll probably give you maybe a little bit more kind of creative freedom just to move about, because he is quite a forward-thinking kind of guy, and he will look out for that killer pass quite a lot, won't he? Yeah,
no, he'll bring his goals. As I said, he'll bring a lot going forward and a lot defending. That's what I've noticed. He's a good defender. Now fullbacks generally more what they think about is going forward. So to have both is right now is quite unique.
Who's going to be the first one to absolutely scythe him at training as a get your own back? Will it be you, or actually will we put money on Alan Power being probably the first one to take him out at training once contact is allowed?
Well, I'd say probably Brothers or Al Power, I'd say.
Either that or it'll just be a Brothers and Power sandwich. The two of them will just come in and absolutely clatter him. But did you know this as well? He wears studs on Astro. He has said that during training he probably won't wear them, but during the game on a Saturday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, whatever night we're playing, he will wear his studs on that Astro.
I don't know where I saw the picture, but it must have been somewhere when he was sitting at the side of the park just before training. He had studs on, and even that just gives you the fear of death. Somebody that does that.
He is a bit of a nutter, really, isn't he?
Nah, it's just anyway. If you're up against a defender that's wearing studs on the Astro, they're in your head already before the game started.
That's what you want. Living in that head rent free for a full game can be the difference as well. Hopefully we can make some more signings and add to the squad. But the likes of bringing Cut Broadfoot back there in January, that was another massive boost as well. We're talking about guys that really, just like a bit of roughhousing. He really is going to be key in the centre of that defence going forward into the new season, isn't he?
Yeah, no, Brothers, I don't need to talk about that again, but what happened. And it was just good to have a familiar face that, was one of the main reasons we succeeded under Steve Clarke, and to have somebody that knows how to do it and who's got the experience that Kirk's got, bringing him back was a no-brainer. So, I think we just missed that, a bit of, boys knowing how to get the job done and know the league. We got away from that a wee bit last season. We were a wee bit out of sorts. So to have the old group back together, and hopefully we can do similar things to what we did before. With
Alex being named as the man, obviously he came in as interim manager after Angelo Alessio left, but with him now, we've got the stability of a 2-year contract with Alex. Does that kind of almost feel like the band getting back together again?
Yes, I know. Sometimes it's not great to harp on about getting back together. We need to create, new experiences under the manager now, and I'm looking forward to that. I think he definitely deserves his chance to. Last year he came in, they weren't his players, and now he's going to be given the chance to stamp his authority on the team and bring in his own players. So now looking forward to it.
One question that a lot of people keep asking me at the moment, Rory, is before training, obviously, you've got to go and get tested. I've kind of seen the procedure myself. Like, talk us through what you've got to do. So obviously you're training after this interview today. You're in the later group. So you've got to turn up just a little bit earlier now, don't you?
Yeah. We're it's twice a week. We're getting tested. So we're getting tested on a Monday and a Thursday. So we got tested yesterday. So you're turning up maybe an hour before training, waiting for the boys that are in before you to finish, and then you'll head in, you'll park up next to the nurse or the doctor. You won't get out your car, and then they'll do the swab. So it's like the swab in the back of your throat, and then they also stick it up your nose, which isn't. I'd been watching videos before it. I was on Ian Poulter's Instagram, and he put a video up, and he made it look really, really bad. But honestly, it's actually worse in your throat. The swab, it just kind of gives you a wee bit of a sensation, but up your nose is actually.
It's interesting times. It really is interesting times. Completely different look to it. But the main thing is, I suppose we all really just are desperate to go back to playing football. And if it is behind closed doors, which it probably will be, the fans will get to see it though. Obviously, our season passes are out now, and I think that was one thing that we'd said to the manager. We've kind of frozen the prices, obviously. You're guaranteed your 19 games and whatnot, and then the deal will roll into the following season if you don't, for games that you don't get physically into Rugby Park. But
yeah.
How important, you're a guy that's been at the club for a long time, just how important is it for the supporters to step up now? And it will be difficult for a lot of them, having been furloughed, but just how much do we need them to back the manager and get those season passes bought as quickly as they can?
No, I can't come on here. People's circumstances are different. It's been a tough time for everyone. But I think football gives. I don't want to sound all, but it gives everyone a bit of hope. It gives some people something to look forward to. For a lot of people, football means a hell of a lot, and to be able to watch us again and get involved with the season passes, it'd be massive. And I think it'll just bring that togetherness back that people will really have needed and missed during lockdown, because it's been tough for people that are staying on their own and that have been locked up in flats. Just to have a bit of normality back will be beneficial to everyone.
I suppose as well, though, the comfort will be there knowing that despite the fact the fans aren't in the stadium, that they'll be watching in their droves. I suppose it could even be record numbers for Kilmarnock as well. With the amount of people that probably will want to watch the football. I think right now, if you were to put a game on, even down at Scott Ellis in Kilmarnock, you've probably got 1,000 people would turn up to watch it. I think you're right. It kind of gives people that hope, but it also probably gives them that release away from the stresses of their daily week, I suppose, their work and all that other sorts of stuff. So it'll be comforting to know, though, that everyone's watching on the telly.
No, I know it'll be. the people do genuinely need it. They need a bit of normality back. It's been a long, I don't even know how many weeks now. It's 12 weeks. Who knows? I know. So the sooner we can get back to normality, and the better for everyone, I think.
Right, I want to, before we kind of wrap up, obviously you've got training to get ready. Oh, by the way, what's it like? What's it like washing your own kit? That's another thing I wanted to ask. Is obviously Kitman Kev, any other kitman in the country usually will have everything washed. It'll be sat out in a nice wee neat pile at your station in the dressing room, all that sort of stuff. Have you been caught out yet by not washing your kit in time?
I have. Yesterday my socks were soaking, so that wasn't ideal because it was wet anyway. But I've been doing it so long. It's hard. You sound like a spoiled brat here, but we get everything done for us. Everything's set out by the kit man. So to have the responsibility doing your washing is, for a 26-year-old, it's quite embarrassing saying that. But
don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Honestly, anytime I've got to wash my football kit, I always forget until an hour before, and the washing machine will say 35 minutes, and actually it lasts 46. You've got the heating on full bung, trying to get it on as quickly as you can. So I've been there. It's never good. We got a fine then. We got a fine for not wearing the right socks.
Oh, I wore them. They were just soaking wet, so there was no fine there. So I'm sure there will be fines once we're back. Gaz, he'll be on top of that, I'm sure.
Is he quite strict when it comes to the fines? Then is Gary Dicker kind of quite militant, making sure that the fines are collected?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it goes to a good cause. It goes to the team night out, but you don't. No, you don't make friends getting the fine money, and nobody's ever happy handing over 10, 15, 20 quid.
What's the worst thing you've been fined for?
I'm actually not bad.
Teacher's pet.
No. I mean, the big ones are been late, and there's no excuse for that.
You live 5 minutes away. I sincerely hope you're not late.
No, well, no. I've seen I think it was the Lee Clark days. Fines got pretty. When that fine sheet went up, it was another level. So I'm sure it was a couple hundred quid for being late, and a few boys. I can't remember who, but that's not nice. That's just madness. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you back now. Sorry, you were talking about... there we go, got you back now. Aye, so you're talking about Lee Clark fines. They were quite something in the day, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I'm sure late in a match day. I think it started. I mean, this isn't normal, but it started at a couple hundred quid, and then doubled for your second offence. And I can't remember who. I can't. One of them was done for the second offence, so that's big money.
That's bad.
No, I'm not interested in any of that. I'll 5 minutes away. There's no excuse for me.
Absolutely, Rory. See if you're going to be late for work, mate. I will just come and get you myself. To be fair, make sure you're in. There is literally no excuse. The car breaks down, I'll just tow you in. So, apologies, by the way, I should say, for some of the technical difficulties. Your side of the screen seems to have kind of just went down a little bit. So, with that in mind, and just in case we have any more technical issues, I want to play a quick getting to know you quiz. You have been with us for a very long time. Obviously, you're 2 years away from your testimonial that we touched on. But probably a lot of people don't know you're quite a private guy, aren't you?
I don't like. I'm not on Twitter and all that sort of stuff. I like keeping things to myself.
Well, let's ask you a few kind of quick fire questions then, Rory, if we can. All right. It's not against the clock. You can take as long as you need to answer them, but the quicker the better. First of all, then, what is your favourite food?
I do like my food. Lamb. I like a rack of lamb.
Oh, nice. And who's your favourite restaurant in Ayrshire?
In Ayrshire? Mm-hmm. I enjoy Braidwoods. I enjoy Braidwoods in Ayrshire.
Excellent. What's your favourite type of music? What do you listen to in the car on the way into work or before a game?
I'm more a podcast. I'm not really. I don't get me wrong. I like music, but in the car, I'm a podcast kind of guy.
What do you listen to podcast wise?
Just my podcasts are just purely golf, no laying up, just golf podcasts. That's all I really listen to. Boring, but that's.
So you haven't listened to a small podcast called We Are Kelly? No, you haven't heard that one?
No, but it's I will now. Once the football gets back, I'll start listening to it.
Listen out for the quizzes, by the way. Catman Kev,
Right.
Stuart Finlay. By the way, is it true, Stuart? Everyone that we
I
talked
would
about,
never ever have Stuart Finlay on in my car. That just wouldn't happen.
is he as boring as ever? Stuart Finlay always tries to rip me a new one. It never happens for him. Do you know, also, number one, he looks like Billy out of Beverly Hills Cop. You know the one I mean. He looks exactly like him. He acts like him. And where on earth does he get all his information from? Is he a human encyclopedia? Is he that boring?
He's no. To be fair, Stu just constantly talks. Like in the morning, like Stu, he's like we had our corner, so like it's quite a good corner with Gaz and Boydie was there before, and Stu would just he would be worming his way around the changing room, just try to get in this corner because he just has to talk. And I think I got on really well with Stu, but in the morning I just can't. When you first get in the morning and Stu's there at 9:30, just constantly in your ear. I say this to his face that he's just, for me, he's too much in the morning. After about 10:30, I can just about deal with him.
Who else said that? Who was that? Was it Chris Burke or
Bucky would say that. Bucky,
yeah, Bucky said that.
He just has to be heard.
Stephen O'Donnell said the same thing in the podcast when he was here. We don't talk about him anymore. And
Stephen O'Donnell's got a serious.
Eh?
Sods has got a serious cheat talking about anyone, Tom.
And Gary Dicker, to be fair, I think had a wee pop at Stuart Finlay as well for being quite boring and talking all the time. So we're seeing a common theme here about Stuart Finlay, aren't we?
Yeah, and Stu could tell a story that could quite easily be told in 20 to 30 seconds, and he'll stretch it out to 4 or 5 minutes, and that's my issue.
So right, okay. So Stuart never ever gets to take. We'll never give him the stadium mic. He never gets to take any talk. Nothing. Right. Okay. So that's Stuart off that list. What a boring man he is. What was your? He honestly he tries to rip me a new one all the time. All right, Gav, your thoughts and such. Nah, anymore, Stuart, mate. What was your first car?
It was a Clio.
Oh, when did you pass your driving test? When you were 17 or a bit later?
No, I was a wee bit later. I was a bit later. I was nearly 19. I think I was 18, but nearly 19.
What do you drive now?
I drive a Mercedes.
What type?
E-Class Coupe.
Nice. Clio 10 E-Class. Nice one. Worst jokes in the dressing room. Who has got the worst jokes in the dressing room?
I would have said, but obviously he's not in the dressing room anymore, so we're not talking about Sod. Who else? Probably Stu.
Oh God.
Nah, probably Stu.
Favourite soap opera?
Soap opera?
Mm-hmm. Or TV programme, we'll widen that out.
Right, okay, TV programme. Quite into... I quite like Narcos.
Ooh, excellent.
I get into that a wee bit. No, I didn't get into a wee bit. I'd watched the first few Narcos before lockdown, and then I've started it again. So enjoy that. Enjoyed MasterChef as well. You
a bit of a cook?
No. My wife, she's a very good cook. So I like food, but I should definitely put more effort into cooking. But no, my wife does that.
Favorite golf course?
Royal.
Say that one again. Sorry. Favorite golf course?
Royal Troon.
Royal Troon. Good. Shout.
Yeah.
Best player that you've played with?
I think all round player. Greg Stewart was as good as I've seen. And then Greg Stewart and Eremenko when he was first there. The two of them were Greg Stewart when under Steve Clark he was as good as I've seen.
Two excellent players there. Hardest, worst, or most annoying opponent that you've ever played against? So I've kind of kept that quite broad for you.
Hardest. I don't really know. Would you include toughest?
Yeah.
Did you say toughest? Is that what you said?
Hardest, yeah. Probably hardest, toughest, yeah.
I don't know. You would probably, just because the games against Rangers and Celtic are so tough, you would just have to say the fullbacks for both clubs, but not just the fullbacks. Most of their players, just because those sort of games are so difficult and they're the toughest games for us throughout the season. So probably I don't know, through the years the different left backs that Rangers and Celtic have had. Izagiri was always tough to. He would always go so high, and Tierney as well. They would be so high and they would get up and down really well. So it'd be difficult to chase them for 90 minutes.
And finally, your all-time favourite player, or you can tell me your favourite player growing up as a boy.
I was a Man United fan.
I'm glad we had a technical difficulty there. You telling us you were a Man United fan growing up. I'm disappointed at
that. So I've still got a few of the tops. I would always. In fact, did I have Roy Keane? I had David Beckham, and one of my tops was Roy Keane. So there's probably David Beckham growing up. He was my technical difficulty.
Excellent. Well, there we go. I think we've quite comprehensive then in our getting to know you section there. Rory, thank you very much, mate, for taking the time out to kind of just chat with us and chew the fat, just get to know you a little bit more. What are your, just looking ahead finally then, you get any sort of messages to the fans for the season ahead, or anything that you want to just put out there before football comes back?
No, I would just encourage, I'm not fully in the loop of how you go about purchasing your Gavin, you can probably help them with that, but just we're all really looking forward to it, and we can't wait to get going, and we hope that you all get involved with the Kelly TV and try and enjoy watching us and getting back to normality and a bit of togetherness, as much as all the players are looking forward to as well.
And Rory, just to finish off, mate, before you leave us here on Kelly TV, here is a quick look at your best bits. Thanks for joining us.